what's going on, guys? It's me, Duckster, and in the last video we talked about the DS. If you remember, in the last video, we talked about the first-party game. New Super Mario Bros. DS was a first-party game that basically jump-started the DS. It was a huge hit, but that doesn't mean there weren't any obscure games on the DS. In fact, there were a whole lot. The DS, similar to the Wii, was filled to the brim with obscure third-party games that no one gave a crap about. And I guess that fact is kind of sad within itself. Some of the third-party games that didn't get any attention were pretty good games on their own. But today, we're going to talk about one of those third-party games that wasn't that good and didn't get any attention. It was based off a very popular character at the time. This is why it surprises me that there were not much content or anything about this on this game. This game was Spongebob's Boating Bash. Now, you may have heard of this game, or you may not have, but today we'll be going over everything this game has in store. This was recommended to me by my friends on Twitter, so thank you guys for voting for this idea to be brought to life in one of my videos. So without further ado, let's get into the game, Spongebob's Boating Bash. Spongebob's Boating Bash was released on March 2nd, 2010 to obvious major critical acclaim. I'm just kidding, no one had any idea what this game was. Surprisingly, it is an official Nickelodeon product and not some third-party ripoff, even though the gameplay might convince you of that. This game was also released on the Wii, which is where I think it got more attention than the DS. If you're confused what genre this game is, it is considered a racing video game. Yeah, the title doesn't really tell you much about what the game is about, but the name boating should kind of suggest that you're going to be driving a boat. Now, there are no reviews of this game besides a review by GameStop and Common Sense Media. GameStop is a pretty credible source. I'm messing with you. I don't think anyone has ever gone to GameStop website to see a review on the latest game they are interested in. The publisher is THQ, and please kill me if I butchered that name. I spent around 13 years with that company, and I still have no idea how to pronounce their name. The developer of this game was Firebrand Games, and I've never heard of them before. Let's search them up. Well, it seems like they've made a lot of racing games. Oh, look at that. They made the most recognizable IP out there, Cars 2 for the PS3. God, what a classic! So yeah, Firebrand Games just made obscure racing games, and that's no offense to the developers. I don't think they were allowed to use any of their own ideas. So anyways, moving on, this game wasn't really known by anyone. So, you're right to ask the question, what the hell even is this game? I don't blame you, because I found this game sitting in my cupboard all by itself. So without further ado, let's just pop this baby in, and yeah, I lost it. Yep, I have no idea where this game went, but let's still pop into the gameplay with the useful use of Desmumi, the DS emulator, and a sketchy ROM website that's definitely stealing all my personal information. So once you hop into the game, you go into this like little tutorial thing where you just drive around this little track. And I didn't really understand what the hell was going on. One, because my emulator settings were off and I had no idea what the controls were. Two, because this mini-map doesn't show you where you are, it just shows a compass of your boat, so you just crash into whatever the hell's in front of you. So yeah, I had to do this a little annoying tutorial for a long time, then I accidentally pressed redo it again, so I had to do the tutorial all over again, for 2 times. Then I had to circle back around and I finally finished the lap for the 2nd time. Then I got into the actual game. So then we wait through this annoying loading screen with the wheel on it, and yeah, the audio quality in this game is really bad. Here, take a listen.
So did I pass this time, Mrs. Puff?
I did get a really big laugh of listening to that audio quality. It's really funny. I'm not sure why it's like this, but I think it's just because the DS runs like this. So we're introduced to this kind of story where SpongeBob meets the shark character and he offers him a racing school. Well, I didn't really read through this. As you can see, I'm spamming through the buttons. But yeah, you kind of just get shot immediately into this story with you just bumping into other characters. There's even a line where SpongeBob said, "Wait, these are my friends," but he just goes, "Nah, it's all for the boating school." So we're introduced to this really subpar gameplay, and I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do, but I did notice the 3 boat icons at the top. So I figured out, you have to bump into other characters and basically kill them, so you're SpongeBob killing his friends. Here's a weird little side note about this game. You're supposed to use your stylus to drive instead of the D-pad. You use your stylus to drag a little bubble icon around, and that drags your character around. If I were playing on the normal DS, I'd be using the stylus, but I'm playing on an emulator, so I use my mouse cursor. So basically the goal of this little tutorial map was to kill 3 of your friends, and I did successfully end up doing that in the end.
With severe casualties.
Rest in pieces, Mr. Krabs, 2020. next up, we're represented with Destruction 2, and I don't know what this means, but it did take me to a new map. So apparently this time I have to kill 5 of my friends. Okay. So we kind of just cruised along here. I destroyed one person. Opponent wrecked, as you can see. I really like the design of the cars. It's kind of cool. I mean, the gameplay is really odd within itself, but the map design isn't terrible. I mean, I like a lot of aspects of this game, despite it kind of being a joke. Although the game is kind of stupid and the racing isn't that good, it definitely could appeal to a younger audience. I could see myself playing this as a kid. I mean, I did own it, and I do remember playing it when I was younger. Yeah, that might surprise you, but I do remember playing this game on airplanes and stuff like that. I remember being a big fan of it too. I think my grandma got it for me, and I was a big fan of Spongebob at the time, so this was definitely my game. I also was playing Mario Kart on my Wii, so I absolutely loved racing games. At the bottom right of the bottom screen, you can see that Spongebob's face is making different faces depending on what's happening on the track. I think this is a cool aspect because it can show you what characters are experiencing, despite you not being able to fully see their model. So as you can see, my boat is taking damage because the main objective of this game is to destroy other boats. It may seem weird, but for some reason it actually is the objective of the game. It's a different kind of racing game, and that's what I think I like about it. It's really different with the bashing and stuff like that, and I think it was different on the Wii as well. We can check it out on the Wii in a future video, but this video is specifically about the DS version. Obviously, this game was more massively successful on the Wii since the Wii was objectively a more successful console. So at this point, I was getting a little bored of playing this game. I mean, obviously, it's not trying to appeal to my age range. And understandably, too, I wanted to stop playing. I mean, this was obviously trying to appeal to a younger audience with the SpongeBob and the kind of childlike racing. But, you know, that doesn't mean I can't play it myself. I mean, for heaven's sake, I play fucking Animal Crossing. So, yeah, I wasn't going to be able to last on this game much longer. I was getting really bored of just constantly destroying other opponents. But, luckily, we have other gameplay on the internet, so I got to check out other aspects of this game before I shot my brains out. So, we see a sad conclusion as I end my recording and never play this game again. So I bet you guys expected a longer video for this one, but this game doesn't really have that much content. I mean, I was trying to find content within this game, but I can't really find anything. I mean, it's not a bad game on its own, it's just, it doesn't have much to do in it. And that's okay, it's a DS game. Not many DS games had that much content, especially third-party games that weren't fully worked on or finished. This game was an obvious cash grab, and that's sad, because it definitely did have potential. The other SpongeBob games are fantastic. So, I didn't see why this one could go south and not get that many sales. In conclusion, I mean, it's a good game. It's definitely trying to appeal to its audience, but it's not finished in the sense. But it also is a third-party DS game, so we have to cut it some slack. In conclusion, the racing's not that good, the gameplay's not that good, and it's obviously a cash grab like I said. This is sad, obviously, but you know, I definitely wouldn't recommend playing this game at all. I mean, if you want an enjoyable experience, I would play something like the other SpongeBob games or even Mario Kart. So yeah, overall, this game's not that great, and I appreciate you guys for recommending it to me, because it was cool to check out this game again after being away from it for so many years. So anyways, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I want to make sure I make more content like this in the future, so keep recommending things to me on Twitter and my Instagram. Thank you guys very much, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.